Hello future investors and welcome back to another weekly episode. Hello future investors, welcome back to another weekly episode. I hope you're all doing very, very well and I hope all of your investment goals are going as planned. Now today's video is a very, very taboo subject, money. Now, I think you should watch all the way till the end of the video because there's going to be so much information that I think you may find very, very beneficial. Now, before I get started, I'm going to start by saying the footage you're going to be watching today is a mix-up of some of my previously filmed content, but mostly it's going to be featuring this beautiful 1,000 gram Bard & Co. gold bullion bar. Now, the reason I'm using this specific footage is because we're talking about money, I think why not use the biggest gold bar I have ever filmed, because it's obviously the most valuable, and being the topic of money, I thought that would tie in rather well. So starting off with this episode, money, I want to talk about the fact that it's an extremely taboo subject. Now, most of us will have been brought up with the mindset that you shouldn't talk about money and you most definitely should never ask how much somebody earns. You definitely don't tell people how much you earn. Now, I believe this is a very dated and very, very backwards mindset. I think even if you're not an investor, even if you're not someone who's really trying to better your financial future, I just don't think it should be a taboo subject. I think it should be something that we're more open about. Now, I'm not saying just go up to whoever you know and say, excuse me, how much money do you make a year? That's slightly different, but I think you should be open to talking about investing, saving, maybe talk about how you're not doing so well. Now, the reason I say that is the most successful people, like entrepreneurs and successful business people, they are not taboo about the subject of money. They're in fact very, very open about it. And that's because they believe networking is a major key to success. Now, what do I mean by networking? Well, I think it comes down to that classic saying of you are who you surround yourself with. You know, and if you try and surround yourself with successful people, entrepreneurs and business people, if that's something you're into, which I'm guessing it is because you've already clicked on the video and you've stayed this far. So I'm going to say that you're that person in the category of wanting to better your financial future, like myself. Now, by networking with more successful people than yourselves, you can actually subconsciously and consciously pick up really good ideas and trading, investment and just saving tips in general. And what you'll find is the really, really successful people, I'm not talking about people who just have a lovely 4-bed, fully detached house, you know, who lives down the road. I'm talking about very, very wealthy, successful people. You will find that they actually really enjoy talking about investments and finances because it's a passion. Like myself, you may think that investing and really talking about money is quite a shallow topic, but I completely disagree. I really enjoy investing. Now, I don't do it because I love money. I do it because I love freedom and I want to have the freedom of choice and time later on in life. Now, there's a saying that I actually heard today and I thought I've got to write that down for today's episode. And that saying is, you can have 5 years of pain now for 60 years of pleasure. Or you can have 5 years of pleasure now for 60 years of pain. Let that sink in. I know which one I'd rather have, 5 years of pain now for 60 years of pleasure. Now, I don't even really consider it 5 years of pain. Yes, I could say I'm sacrificing some things, you know. I'm putting a lot of money away in investments and savings. And yes, I'd like a new big TV in the bedroom or a newer car as a daily driver, or I'd like to do the garden or do the driveway or get a tattoo or go to Japan. Don't get me wrong, there is so many things I want, and they would probably make me more happy doing it in that specific moment than saving. But I think you really do have to look beyond the end of your nose if you're trying to become successful. Now, a good way to look at that would be gold prices. Obviously, we are an investment channel, but predominantly, you know, we talk about gold bullion a lot. Now, gold bullion, right now, the price for a 1 ounce gold bar or coin is roughly at spot price, £1,578. But if you go back 5 years ago to its lowest point, gold for 1 ounce was £901. So it's gone up over £600 per ounce in just 5 years. Now, I do believe that money is an important subject because, let's be honest, we all need money to live. We really do. It's a simple fact. And I think it's important to know what you should be doing with it. Now, it's all about the mindset. Now, it's difficult for me to explain this, but I feel like you've either got it or you haven't. Now, I've been reading a fantastic book by Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I've been reading a fantastic book by Robert Kiyosako called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, he said a quote in this book that I had to write down because I thought it was so true. And he said, "The poor criticize and the rich analyze." And I think that is so true. You know, it's easier to look at the negatives of things in life, not even just money, just things in general, than it is to analyze. But when you sit back and you actually say to yourself, okay, I can't afford this now. It's better to say, instead of I can't afford this, how can I afford this? You've got to analyze instead of criticize. And if you want to be successful, I believe it's a massive thing to shift your mindset and your focus. But as we know, the topic of the video today is money being a very taboo subject. And when you're brought up with money being such a topic you shouldn't speak about in public, it's hard to shift that mindset. So you really do have to dig deep and push yourself into that network. Again, we bring up the networking because otherwise it's not easy to pull yourself out of that mindset. Now, there is some simple tricks to getting rich, and once you find these out, it's actually crazy that not more people know it. And it is very, very simple. As Robert Kiyosako said in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the simplest way and the easiest way to get rich is by following this one simple process. And I mean, it is super simple. All you have to do is build your asset column, not your expenses column. Now, I gave a short break there just for a very, very short, brief moment because I wanted to give your mind the moment to think of a criticism or as an analyze of that comment I just made. What did you say? Did you say a negative comment to what I just said, or did you analyze the benefits of that quote? Now, be honest with yourselves, because I believe some of you may have criticized that comment and said, well, of course, if it was that easy, everyone would do it. That would be a criticizing moment. Whereas if you analyzed, you might have thought, that's good. I haven't thought about that way before. It's actually quite a simple method. And that is how it comes to mindset. And I really do think you've got to shift that mindset to try and be successful. Maybe try and venture out. Talk to people about money. I know not everybody's into investing, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But push the boundaries a little bit. Warm into it and see if you can speak to people, because I think it's a topic that should be spoken openly. And if you're somebody that wants to better your financial future, maybe by investing in precious metals, index funds like the S&P 500, or maybe property, try and network with people, especially people that are more successful than yourselves, because the information that you can get for them for free is absolutely invaluable. So I hope this video has sort of opened your mindset if it was a little bit closed, but most of you, I believe, probably already had an open mindset, as you wouldn't have watched this far. You're all here to better your financial future by making those better future investments, excuse the pun. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anybody who doesn't care about investing or finances, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I want to try and lose the stigma of people talking about precious metals, investing or saving money as a taboo subject that maybe can seem arrogant, because it certainly, in my opinion, isn't the case when I'm trying to explain topics like investing, saving or precious metals. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think money is still a taboo subject, or do you think the stigma of it is slightly lifting thanks to places like YouTube? Thank you very much for watching. As always, I appreciate your support. Thank you to the channel members, the Stack Collector and 365 Days of Silver. Your support is unbelievably important to me, so thank you very much. So until next time, I will see you all in the very next episode. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye-bye. To watch another episode on future investments, all you've got to do is click the link now.